Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Sit up straight. Let's do this thing. I gotta figure out where I left off last night. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. Ooh, look at all that stuff. Portcullis not registered. Oof. The Eternal Forge, the Arcane Rotor. So it's all the new stuff that's not working. Oh, that's why. Whoops. There we go. So that should be all of that. There we go. Let's go ahead and shut back down. Let's give that a try again. For the next update, I think after I'm done with the utility blocks, I'll start shuffling stuff around, and then I gotta go through the spells one more time. Prune out a lot of those duplicate spells and reorganize everything. Oh, did that have issues? I totally forgot to check. It's looking good. All right, it's looking good. On-screen celebration. Fritz. What does this button do? I have no idea. Redeemed seems good on-screen celebration. What is that? How you doing, Fritz? Is that something that Twitch is trying to, like, I don't know, force on people? There. Yeah, so I have no idea. No idea. So I redid the models on all these here. So this is the new Magic Ward, the new Stability Stabilizer, the Mana Stream Generator got an update, and this one got a slight update as well. I still need to make a model for the Eternal Forge, the Arcane Rotor, and the Portcullis. Seems like a new Twitch bit redeem. That's interesting. Twitch! So let's start with one at a time here, one at a time. So we're gonna do the Magic Ward. And I need basically a couple of these. So tier 1. Oops, 2, 3, and 4. This will be my test bed. What does the Portcullis do? Well, it's going to, you'll be able to place it down somewhere, and you will either be able to use a stone to be able to teleport to that Portcullis, or that Portcullis will create like a one-time use Hearthstone to go back to it. It's going to be a mode of like transportation. All right, Magic Ward. Oh my god, why am I casting on that? Here we go. All right, so I turned that on. That is definitely a 3x3. Let's make sure we can pause it. Okay, so we have to put in logic for pausing it. Let's unpause it. Let's make sure that it does indeed work. So that worked. This is going to have a wider range. So it's going to be a 5x5. Yep. All right, that's looking good. Let's break that. I was worried this part of the code wouldn't have worked. Boop. Yeah, 7x7. And this would be 9x9. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so let's focus on fixing a couple things here, right? So the first thing is going to be when this is paused, we need to run code to remove all of this. So you're thinking something similar to the base game Return Teleporter where it breaks after use? Kind of. I haven't really sourced, reached out to anyone to get their opinions yet. The thought was it was like the Harry Potter kind of mode of transportation. So, I mean, I could have it a couple ways, right? It could make Hearthstones. Maybe it could be a point-to-point teleport too. But, yeah. It was just something that I figured I would throw in. I know I want a couple more, a couple more utility blocks. And since I was redoing the system, I just decided to throw it in. So it's kind of like an empty block right now. I mean, though the last three don't even have models yet. I got to make models for them. Eventually. All right, let's look at the code. Let's focus specifically on, we're going to close all the tabs. We're going to focus on the mana ward. Or magic ward. Magic ward. Where is it? Okay, so that's the utility for magic ward, and that is the block entity. So I don't think we need anything in here. Yeah, we don't need anything in the block. All of our logic is going to be in here. Should definitely be tier 3 to tier 4. Yeah, I'm gonna have to juggle around. Once I have everything done, I'll probably be asking, like, hey, what do we feel should be in tiers 2, 3, and 4? Out of these 7 blocks. What seems like the better ones, right? What do we want to save? So on player right click, I think we got to put some of the logic in here. On player right click, I could put it right in here. So if it's off, we can run. It's technically not going to be barrier block remove. It will be run. Run remove effects. I think this is what I'm going to want. And then it's going to have to take in this attached this dot. Oh, jeez. This dot current tier. There we go. Hey, shut it all off. There we go. Now you can turn it on and off. All of these blocks, you'll be able to turn them on and off. Damn it, gotta go. So sorry. Hey, it's all right, Fritz. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a good day. There. So now we can turn these on and off and preserve the amount of time that they're running. So you're not going to waste time anymore. Hell yeah. Sweet. So what's it look like on the larger scale? Does it work? Bum, 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 bum. All right, so that's the big bit there. Now you can shut it off. And let's build. I don't know, we'll make some kind of little gate. There we go. So it should fill in the area there. Yep. There we go. Magic ward. Unable to pass. And if you want to pass, now you can shut it off, turn it back on. This does not help keeping other players out, because this isn't locked to anyone. Anyone could pause this and turn it back on. Not too shabby. All right, so I think the magic ward is done. Sweet. All right, the next thing, stability stabilizer. I'm pretty sure this is done. We need to test this in a real world with temporal stability. Man, I really wish you could, like, live stream with real music. Like, game music's, like, neat, but, oh my god, like, that's all I listen to. I forgot what kind of music I like. Like, as an adult human being, I have no idea. Oh, another neat thing, you'll probably notice that now there are two activates there. One's going to be your Rusty Dust. The other one is the icon for the transmutation spell. So I'm getting fancy with these. Fancy! And let me just make sure, yeah, that gear is winding down because I'm pretty deep in the ground. Let's see if it works. Yep. There it is. So right now, being around this is negating the stability loss while underground. All right, I'm gonna break it. So it's a 10-second buff that it keeps like refreshing on you. So in like 5, there we go. So now I'm not under the effect anymore. Now what we should be able to do, I don't know why I didn't do it before. Right, so it's on. Now I can shut it off, right? I can pause it. And we'll wait for that 10-second buff to disappear. So it should stop running when I shut it off. And it just stopped running. Sweet. All right, stability stabilizer is indeed working. Let's go back into the creative world. Now we're gonna have to... We're gonna have to deal with the thing that I know is gonna give problems. That stupid mana stream generator. Let's kind of spot check this a little bit. Yeah, that works. Mana stream generator. We'll spot check this one as well. See, I think there's a couple other things. Yeah, because this one's going to be unique because I have logic that does the checks the top and the bottom. I'm going to have to rewrite some of my methods, I think. I'm going to have to rewrite some of my methods. It's okay. It's okay. This is... I had a feeling I was gonna have to. Let's just see how broken it is. Obviously, it didn't clean up after itself when the block was broken. So let's go ahead and grab one and kind of place it down. So that did do its refresh there. So let's see what it does when I turn it on, going this way. All right. So that is as high as the tier 1 goes. All right, I can hop in it. So that works. What happens if I pause it? It actually worked. So inheriting that one line of code where I put it, it should hit every single one of these. Like, you should be able to pause them all. But no, that's really good. Turn it back on. All right, so what about... We'll go a little higher. Insufficient mana? Come on, man. Do you know who I am? Ah. That is not... Oh, you know what? It's not working because of that. Actually, it's not working, period. Disabled runestone not found. Okay, so we need custom logic here to check the top and the bottom instead of just the bottom. I think I have all of that stuff saved. But the way we're going to write this is I'm actually going to come into the base class that propagates everywhere. And it is this logic right here. Check for attached runestone block. We're going to say check for attached runestone block bottom. Hey, Nanotech. Good evening. Yeah, I think I'm going to specifically make this one bottom. This means let me just save and quit because I'm going to have to touch a bunch of other things here because this is not going to be happy. I mean, look at it. It was already underlined purple. How you doing, Nanotech? By the way, I'm a little tired, so I don't know if I asked or not. I may have asked. So I'm gonna have to change it here. Yeah. Change it here. Change it. Whoa. There, change it here. All right, let's check the magic ward. Anything here? Oh, wait, that's just the block. There we go. Yep. So right here, apply run effect. The magic ward is checking the bottom to see if there's a runestone there, so we will run that. And I think that's the only thing there. So the next thing is going to be the stability stabilizer. You know what? So I'm putting the same thing in every one of these. Do I just want to... No, you know what? Actually, I remembered why I did it like this. We're keeping it. We're keeping it. All right, so stability stabilizer's fixed. The mana stream generator. So this one's going to be a little different here. So we're going to say bottom. And we're going to make an entry for top that we do not have yet. Actually, we do have the one for the top. I think I could actually get rid of this one. And then we would just have the top. You know, I may be able to condense this down into a single-use method and then just pipe in another part in the method here. That would be like a negative or positive, right? Because really this is either taking one block up or one block down. And then it's running through the same logic. So why can't I just do that? Why can't I go into this base method? Let's just put it back to check for attached runestone block. And what we will do is take in an int. And I'll say y value in. You know, I could just do y in. There we go. Yin. And then yin would be right in there. Let's double check everything else here. So that's getting the potency, marking the block dirty, and then I'm doing that for pretty much everything. Perfect. So now that means I can get rid of this. And we're going to have to put in, for the generic block, let's go ahead and mark it with a -1. Because we're gonna, it's like the default, right? It's gonna check the bottom. Because I don't think there's anything that... Maybe I gotta think this over a little more. Maybe this shouldn't be an overwrite. Maybe I need to move out the tick listeners. Kind of move them upstream. I'm thinking. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna leave it. Executive decision. We'll see how it works. Could blow up in my face. So we gotta change this. I'll do a -1. Because I want to check the block below. Same thing with this. We're going to do a -1. All right, so let's go back to the magic ward. So I'm just reusing that same method. -1, so we want to check the block underneath the magic ward. I can close that out. Stability stabilizer is going to be the same thing. Now that means this right here, the mana stream generator. We'll move that over. There we go, mana stream generator. So let me double check this. So for the top, I think it was just this that was different, right? Yeah, it looks like it's exactly the same code otherwise. Except it's also looking for current attached runestone tier top. That I may have to preserve this as a separate method. Maybe. But we will see. I'm going to check it out by commenting it out and seeing if I can get something working without that method. But I may have to come back and re-enable that. All right, mana stream generators. So instead of top and bottom, right now it's going to be, for top, it's going to be just 1, right? 1 block above. For bottom, it's going to be -1. Oh, shoot. Yeah, it's looking for specific stuff. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to... I'm going to have to preserve that top. Going to have to preserve it. So maybe with this, you kind of undo what I did. Undo. There we go. That means I need to undo what I did for the deleting the bottom here. That is a little better. All right, we have no errors now, so it looks like it's happy. Portcullis, do we have to do anything with that? Yep. Again, portcullis will be -1. It may end up changing. I have no idea what that block's really going to function as. Eternal Forge will be the same thing. -1. Botanical Matrix. Weird. That one seems fine. -1. All right, let's save. Let me build. I think there may be like one more place that I'm forgetting. Maybe. Ah, failed. All right, where's the failure? Oh, I'm doing checks for these, huh? Okay, I just gotta go through this stuff. This isn't bad. There, I could just tab complete now. The game knows what I'm looking for. Except in that circumstance. The mana stream generator, you know, I don't think it matters running that code. I think what I need to run instead is the top and the bottom. Yeah, well, top and bottom. Tab that out. -1. -1. All right. What other errors do we have? I think that's it. Oh, God, this music. It's brutal. Let's look at... Maybe I'll just throw on some Loop Hero. Why not? I'm not feeling any of these other songs. You know, okay, we'll get through this song. The next thing I put on will be Loop Hero. All right, let's hop back in the game. It's gonna be a drag going back through all the spells because I'm gonna have to make new spreadsheets. Hey, that worked. All right, I could shut it off. We gotta focus. It looks like the pausing did not do what I thought it would do, but we can turn it on. What if I throw down one right here? Boop. All right, that looks pretty good. Shut off. And it does indeed shut it off. Okay, so we need to make it to where when that is paused, it shuts that off. Let's go to the Mana Stone generator. I think it's in here that I want to look. So on player right-clicked, I think what I want to do is copy this whole thing out. Because it needs to, I need to put it in here. So maybe the run remove active effects. Oh, I think I know what it is. Run remove active effects. I don't think I'm extending it in here yet. Yeah, I'm not. It's not even in here yet. So I need to copy this because it's an empty method, right? So really I need to copy both of these and put them into here. This, let's do override. Override. So this is already in here somewhere, right? Yeah, it's right up here. Paste. And now what I can do for remove effects is just pipe that in. We're gonna have to shut down because I just created a new method while the game was running, so we gotta gracefully shut it down. We're gonna save. I'm going to rebuild. Now when it pauses, it's going to run this barrier removal logic. All right, let's start the game. So now hopefully we should be able to pause both versions and it should actually remove the ladder correctly. The slipstream generator. No mana. I got so many little notifications on my phone. All right, so that one, of course, still turns on and off. What about you? Hey, we can pause it now. And turn it back on, and it did not turn back on, though. Interesting. So let's figure that out. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back in here. Because this has to do with the bottom logic here. So check top, check bottom, top bottom, top bottom. Else remove. Apply, run, apply effect. So it is considered an active block. So are we getting into here? Oh, okay, okay, let's pipe this in. Let's go to my output. It's not even getting to there. Okay, it's getting to here. It's running on this. It's not running on the top one. Weird, right? Because you would think a placement bottom would be... I thought that was shooting the ladder down. What about top? I may have inverted them. Nothing. Nothing at all. Interesting. Very interesting. So what I'm thinking is, if some of my logic is a little weird, let's go to... I'm gonna minimize that for now. I do have this code down here. I wasn't quite sure how it was... I had a lot of gobbledygook in this, and I got it working, and then I just stopped shaking the whole thing and kept it as is. I've always meant to rewrite this. I think maybe now is the time, because I bet if I remove that and I place this right there, yeah, see, it starts firing right away. So I think the issue is the fact that it's not understanding... Whoops. It's not understanding that there's a block here. You know, there's a block on top. I think that's the problem. So I guess that being said, do I want to rewrite the system so every block can use the same kind of thing? Because I could have it to where it's the same method for both. I could do the negative and positive, and then I could just have it to where, because it's still just piping in a number. You know what? I totally could. I could minimize a lot of this code and make it obsolete. Totally. Totally. So for this, right? Check for attached top and bottom. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to preserve this code, right? But we're going to get rid of that. And in here, we are going to say, I'm going to run the code for the block. So we will do the top, which would be 1. And we will do the bottom, which would be -1. And then for the running the barriers, the placement of the... well, it's not a barrier block, it's going to be the elevator block, so I got to rename that once I get it working. But we just get rid of top and bottom, because we're running both at the same time. So really, it's going to be these two methods that make up this. So let's go a little further down. So in here, it's the same kind of thing. So if it is active, we'll paste in the new logic and get rid of the old, and then we have a little... Okay, so that's already been disabled, so is that, and so is that. So I think that's all we have to do. We're overriding the run apply effect. And let's pause it. Turn it back on. Let's turn you on. So that works that way. All right, so it's still not working this way, but at least we converted. We're getting the same results, but I've got rid of 4 different methods and replaced it all. So that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's take a look at top and see what I have programmed for top. Like, what is top doing? First of all, I should probably have a T right there so I can see the difference. Actually, the T should go there. There we go. I think there's one more thing that I'm missing. One more thing that I am missing. Oh, wait a minute. I think I need another method in here. I gotta be more stateful, I guess. Because I'm gonna have to run a check to see. But that's kind of what these are. Oh man, I may not be able to consolidate like I think I can. Because the problem is, I'm not seeing, I don't think I'm seeing the top block. Or I'm checking the top and then I'm checking the bottom, I think is what's happening. So what if I reverse this? Because I think I'm overriding it. Like, nah, see, it's still accepting it from just the top here. So I'm running both top and bottom code right now. Interesting, but that is not correct, huh? Try and comment those 2 out. Oh, we had some live code down here. Something was actually using those? Oh, these 2 bottom checks. I'm gonna try to get rid of these 2. Start getting rid of the methods that I know I'm not using right now. Run block access for barrier bottom. Okay, so let's... Okay, so that's what T is right there. And then this one's B. But both of these are not being called. Let's see here. So if it's active, we're getting the top and the bottom. I'm curious here. I am very curious. What if I just leave the not the negative one here? What if I just do this? Okay, so this is in the same kind of state. But see, it's actually calling the stuff here. And then it stops. So the other one's not even getting to this part of the code. Weird. Do I have like a weird name for this mana stream generator? Maybe I do. Let's try and put a logger in here rmr references dot logger applied effect. Okay, so let me delete these here. There we go. Weird. Is this a dead block? Ah, here we go. Exception. Attempt to invoke a deleted method. Oh, it's because I'm running. Oh man, I deleted methods. This is going to be very unhappy because I got rid of methods here. Whoops. There we go. We'll put on some Loop Hero to help ease the mind. All right, let's shut down the game. I probably should have done as soon as I commented out those methods. I probably and I got rid of 2 variables as well. I'm disappointed in myself. See, now we're getting some unhappiness here. Wait, where is this? Do, 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 do. Let's get rid of those. Let's do BE. Check for attached runestone block. Paste. There we go. Build. I have a feeling I may want to do something separate with this block. Maybe I do want to preserve 2 different sets of the logic to like check. You know what I mean? And then individually check for a top and a bottom. That way I'm not overriding things. My thought is I'm checking the top and then I'm checking the bottom, and then it's like zeroing back out. Uh-huh. Well, that looks better. So if I shut both off, all right, what if I turn you back on? That's it. Okay, so it was fine just now when it loaded, and now it's not able to do it. So that one is not running what it needs to be running. And I bet if we go down to here, let's... Now it's running it. And it turned it on. So yeah, I think I need to have 2 separate... Whoops. I need to have 2 separate... I need new logic for this. I need to be able to check the bottom and then the top. So I can use the old variable for the bottom as normal. And then I can just have a custom top that I check as well. Yeah, there are more fun things than state management of block entities interacting with other block entities in my experience. Yeah, this was definitely a needed thing. Like this was kind of shoestring code. But they're going to work a lot better. They're more desirable now. Part of the whole rewrite process, right? So let's go into here. All right, so I guess I want to preserve the top. I will preserve the top. which means I will get rid of that. So really it's going to look like this. So we're going to have the top there. And then I need that specific variable right in there. Which also means I need to get this method and re-enable it. So the game's going to be pissed with what I'm going to be doing here. This game is not going to be happy. There we go. So that can, so I can independently check the bottom and the top. Let me just shut down the game. Let me take one step further here and assume that the game's going to be very unhappy with me. So this is going to be the new sequence. Boom. What I also need to do is I got to change this back to top. And really, I should have the run barrier logic right underneath here as well. All right, I think that may actually be just about it. Let's save, rebuild. Although I'm still worried that I'm not even calling the root methods for building the blocks. So I wonder if there's something more that I'm inheriting that I need to override. And that very well could be the case. Cool. Now let's shut that back off and turn it back on. Yep. So I'm getting an awful lot of applied effects. Where did I put that? So that's in this root method here. What if I cut it out and paste it here? Is it still gonna run? It did not. Is this like, am I changing the state of this block? What are you? The name's too long. You son of a bee. Utility block mana stream generator. Well, that was interesting. It worked there. All right. Oh, the pause and unpause logic. All right, let's cast transmutation. Hold on. Because that worked, right? So where else is this code, huh? The pause and unpause. So I'm unpausing it. It's not running the stuff that it needs to. That's what it is. All right, so let's go back into... Come on, where is it? This right here. Okay. Where? Here it is. Okay. So I'm going to copy all of this out. And I'm going to see this is it here. There's really nothing going on there. So I'm going to paste all this back in. So now I'm going to have to run a couple custom things, right? So when it is paused, we remove the effects, which is fine. When it is not paused, then we can do this dot run applied effects. It wasn't shutting, it wasn't turning anything back on. I may have to put more in here. And you know what? The game may be pissed because technically it's a different method. Okay, there it is. So I didn't have to do anything. I just had to... You know what? If that's all I had to do for, like, you know, running, turning things back on, let me undo what I just did, right? Let's go back to bare bones here. And then let's go back into the root, because this should have... Yeah, I should have this in here. This should be... apply. Something like that. There, I'll get rid of that space. So this should be working the same way. So shut it off, turn it back on. There it is. Turn that on. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, what was going on? I think there was an issue with the particles, maybe? Okay, now that looks like it's working. All right, now what we're going to do, because I did mess with some methods, even though it was the same in the same position, I'm kind of paranoid, so we're going to build everything again. Yep, and it built successful, so there were indeed changes. We're going to run this again. Now, clean slate. We're going to have two that are already on. And I will break them, and we'll place new ones to make sure that, you know, everything on initialize works. And then we can mark this off the... Oh, you know what? We're going to have to do the tooltips as well, the hover over tooltips. All right, so they work. If I shut them off... They both do indeed shut off. If I turn that back on, turn that back on. So that like paused there. Let's do game mode 1. Whee! I'd say that's working pretty well. This... I'd say that was working pretty good. Game mode 2. Bring that sun back up in the sky. Sweet. All right, let me get rid of the extra loggers here, so I can get rid of this one. I can get rid of that and get rid of that. There we go. Now it's not spamming the logs anymore. Sweet. I'm kind of curious about this, right? So what if I... There we go. I'll do that here. So let's turn this back on. So what happens if I break this while it's still on? So it looks like I'm missing some of the update logic here, because this should have shut off. It should have turned this off, and it did not. So let's add some of that now. So, oh, you know what? That's what these extra checks probably were for. Because I wanted to actively, like, shrink back down. So let's say in here, if... Now let's say this dot current tier top and this dot current tier... So if current tier equals 0 and the top also equals 0, then we are going to do the removal. Because, right, there shouldn't be anything extended. so it's on now. Let me pop that on the bottom. It extends that way. Break it. Ah, see, it's not. Didn't do it, huh? Maybe I gotta put it in here. Very weird. I'm getting some bizarre behavior with this block. I could do something where I check to see if the neighbors change, and then I could force an update there. Could do that. So, initialize I'm not going to need anything with. Really, it's going to be this. It's going to be that and this. I think I need to modify it in here, in the root method. Because this is where the tick listeners are. So, like, in here, I could say... check for attached runestone block. Yeah, it would be in here. And I can't override that. And see, and it's running applied effects. It's running this with this. I think I need to make a new method. Oh, I want to do this. I could say, no, I can't do that. This is a private right now. Can I just override the tick? Can I do public here? No, it'd be public over, or a public virtual. I don't know if you could do this for a tick listener. All right, let's shut down the game. Let me, because if I could do this, this is going to make it so much easier. But I feel like you can't, right? Or can you? Weird if you could do this. Very weird. So this would be override. No way. I could actually do this. Can I do this? Because really, I just need to do checks for the bottom here. So this would be top. Run applied checks top. And I would have to extend all the other stuff, right? So I'd have to do a base dot on 500 ms tick dt, right? So it calls everything else, and then I'm just attaching this extra check. No way. Let's build it. I don't think it's gonna work. It built okay. All right. You know what? The game's gonna be unhappy with it. I could tell Vintage Story's gonna be upset. It's gonna say no. Well, it hasn't aired out on me yet. Really? No, come on. This is being ridiculous now. Yeah, so it's still not doing it. Wonder if I should put something in here to where, like, if it doesn't detect either one of these, it will shut it off and, like, change the block. Maybe that would be the better thing. I could force... Maybe that's some of the logic I should have, where it forces it into pause mode. So what happens right now with my ward? Let's turn on the ward, because this is supposedly working. So we'll turn it on, right? So 3x3. And then if I break the bottom... Oh, it's not working anywhere. This should have shrunk down. This should have... It should have not seen... Oh, so I was under the impression that my code was working, and it's not. So let's go into the root here. Let's just add it here. Which case, I technically wouldn't need this. And I don't need that. So let's save that. Let's go back in here. Let's add something where if... We're going to put the virtual back. We'll put that back. So we're going to check for the attached blocks here. I'm going to say... Man, there's not really a... I'm trying to think of a way to do this where I could do it in one place and it just propagates everywhere else. Problem is, this elevator can take a block at the bottom and a block at the top. So I think I'm going to have to make another method that gets called. Then I'm going to have to override in each block because it's going to be doing something different in each block. So let me think of just in terms of the magic ward. So in here, right, for the magic ward, if I say... Let's make a new public virtual method. This is going to be run trigger paused state. Something as simple as that. So in here, let's say if I'm going to put an if statement in here. I'm going to look to see if this is active. So if this is a block that is currently on, and if this dot current tier top equals 0, and this dot current tier top equals 0. So if the top and the bottom are equal to 0, then I will say this dot run remove trigger effects. Okay, yep, that. This dot API dot world, and then we need a position, this dot position. Run this effect, and then return. Let's do that. See how that handles it. Ah, of course. You know, instead of this, why don't I just put it in a pause mode? This dot run trigger pause state. Copy. Paste. So it's going to be both of these things here. So it's going to be this if statement. So if this is active, then set it to off and remove the effects. Which means I could come up to the top here. I did not mean to put it in here. I did not mean to do that, so let's copy, paste, right? So we can put default logic in here. That way I can come back up to where I pause it. So I don't need this and this anymore. I could just do this dot run triggered state, or the pause state, which is going to take all of that. So now I should be able to pause and unpause. Of course, the game's going to be pissed at me right now. It's always so mad. And now what I could do, right? So if this is active, so this is running this state, I could copy this and I could just paste that in here. So it should pause it. All right, we're going to shut down. Rebuild. Boo, boo, boo. Man, I'm so tired. All right. Boom. None of that shit worked. Should have done that, but it did not. Oh, look at, hey, it's putting it right into paused mode now. So I could turn it on or off there. See, it's just, it's not very interesting. Very interesting. I may have to run something where I do a check on neighbor change. Because like if I turn it on there, yeah, let's see, so it's gonna be fine there. What about down here? Hey, it actually shut it off. It shut it off. You know, I kind of don't like that I'm forcing it to go into a pause state. Let's get rid of this override. I don't think I need the override. I still like having this method. I probably should make a method for turning the block on as well. So I should have a trigger on active state, then trigger pause state. But that could be in like the code cleanup. Let's just get it working now. So if this is active, right? And I see this is 0 and this equals 0, right? So there are no blocks. Then what I need to do is do a removal, right? I need to get rid of the barrier. Probably need to do it down here. It's because I removed that stupid override. Crack open my other soda. Yeah. I gotta gracefully shut down so I don't have to keep rebuilding this. So it should have ran the removal, and it did not. All right, so there's definitely something weird going on with that. Let me see if it's going to work on the regular block. Nope, it does not work here either. Ooh. Okay, so let's do a couple of things here. I have an idea. I'm going to put this back. I'm going to put that back. I don't necessarily need to make these a method. But I should come down to... Oh, so this right here, so if it's off or... Oh, man, that burn tick is screwing me. I think in the base method, I need to have top and bottom. Maybe that's the missing key. I think that's the missing key. So let's grab this, paste it in, right? So I need a top and I need a bottom. Now it's about to get plenty pissed off here. So if this bottom does not equal null, ah, man. Man, this new system's kind of jank a little bit already. I need to make it more robust. I need to make it to where it's... I think I need to create a variable here. Maybe I can make it a string, create an enum for it, and then I can have it be a... I need a way to dictate if it cares about only the bottom, or if it's one of the blocks that could take something on the bottom or take something from the top. Let's undo. Let's undo. 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 Yeah, because this would work out well for the magic ward and half of the mana stream generator. This is taking some big brain power to, like, do this right. That's okay. I'll spare what I can. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here. Okay, so this trigger pause state, I'm going to say if this is active and this dot, or this dot, current attached here equals 0. Then we're actually going to just remove the effects. Although it won't get to there if this is 0. So trigger pause state, let's copy this. Copy. Should I just, like, shut it off? I guess I gotta think about what I want. Should it still run? Should it still tick down time? Or should I just put it in a pause state if it doesn't have... if it's disabled? I think I should just... I shouldn't pause it. I want it to be red. I want it to flash. I think this is too aggressive here. So what am I doing here? Oh, this is just for burning the fuel. Okay, okay. Yeah. So technically, the mana stream generator wasn't burning fuel either. No. All right, it looks like I may have to do this a little bit later. All right, let's find someone to raid. I'm gonna have to come back to this. Let's find someone to raid. I got something impromptu to deal with. Whoops. Yep, something impromptu. All right, let's see who's playing Vintage Story. This is forthcoming. Really, what I'm gonna rewrite these once I have a decent system for these. We will have to go through the spells. Like, I'll create a new spell list, and then just changing the flow of the mod in general. I think this next update is going to be a 2.0 update, because it's going to be a complete, like, jumble of everything, all the systems. And we're going to have the new flat tire staves as well. Yeah, right down here. I think I have them hanging up somewhere. Yep, right here. So you'll have your regular apprentice staff, and then you'll have various other apprentice staffs here. You got your Rust Volley, you'll have your Sneaking Steps, your Watering Dew, and your Ignite spells as well. But this will give you a handful of spells for Tier 1 that you can make pretty quickly. All of this is currently in. Everything works pretty well, actually. Like Ignite, if I want to get some firewood here. Boop. Right, so I can cast Ignite. And these are all really low mana spells. So, yep, it gave it 250 heat right away, and it turned it on. Pretty cool. So you'll have a lot of fun little stuff like that. And the funny part is, like, for the stabs, you know, like the wood, I like the wood. I think the cobblestone, or the mana stone, the cobbled mana stone, looks pretty damn good, actually. Yeah, like the way the texture is. I think that's pretty cool. I like it. I like how it came out. All right, who do we got playing? Oh, I know, phone. I know. Who should I raid? We got some people here that I haven't really seen. Let's throw it to one of the low ones here. We got some backseat gaming allowed. Fearfully building my house. Day something. So that's with a bunch of people playing right there. Bunch of people. All right, you know what? We are going to raid this person. I've never raided them. I may not have raided this person. I have no idea. All right, we'll raid this person.
What do you offer me?
Shh. I'm offering you a raid. That's what I'm offering. All right, plant glitter. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'll probably be back a little later tonight. We're gonna plow through this. I think we're close. I think what I need to do is focus on one thing at a time. So I'm gonna have to focus on like the magic ward, right? And we'll get the magic ward working. Really, the only thing we have to get working is the logic when it doesn't detect one of the, you know, wherever the mana stone is. So I think the way I'm gonna go forward with this is I will assign a type, like a string, for every one of my blocks, and it will be like, okay, this block, basically it's gonna be only checking the bottom, you know, runestone, right? And then I can embed that logic throughout the code so it only checks the bottoms, right? And then for the mana, you know, like I would override that. It's what I do with my machine mod to be a different machine. It's just a different type that I assign that entity. So I'll do the same thing with the block. That way I can have a branching decision tree based on the type of, you know, utility block it is. But all right, everyone, thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by, RC, Nanotech, and Fritz. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.